Today what I'd like to do is show you how to make a frame for self-filming your hunts. Jeff Doyle pioneered the view, the over-shoulder shot for the tracking hunter, and today I'd like to show you how to cheaply make a frame to go in the Stagr Gear Track Pack. I am more used to a fanny pack when I hunt, when I track, but I really would like to try filming my hunts this year to be able to share with family for my own purposes, and also for anybody who'd like to watch to hopefully learn from. I've learned a lot from those who have videoed their own hunts and shared them, and I'd like to give back a little bit, if I can, to those who have shared so much with me. So we have the pack, and Stagr makes a frame for filming, but it's pretty expensive, and I was hoping to get by for cheaper than what they ask for that. I'm sure it's a great product. I'm sure it's well worth it. I just personally didn't want to spend that at the time. And so as a cheaper alternative, I have some Schedule 40 PVC that I'm going to make a frame out of. I'll give you the dimensions. I'll show you all the pieces that you need and how to assemble it. Here we have our pieces that you're going to need for the frame. We have two lengths at 13 inches, one at 8 inches, one at about 4.5, three of them at 2 inches. You need 5 elbows, 1 T, and a cap for the end. Now that you know the pieces you need to make this frame, I'm going to show you how to assemble the entire thing. Then I'll show you the parts that need to be glued together and the parts that need to be left unglued so that you can put this in your pack easily. We're going to start with our two 13-inch pieces, and on one end of each of those you'll stick a 90-degree elbow. Face them towards each other. Next, you're going to take this piece you're going to stick that together. At the top, again, a couple of more elbows. Then a 2-inch piece. Then your T. Another 2-inch piece. You push that all together good. It's nice if you have a flat reference table to push it down on so that you can make sure everything's lined up pretty straight. The top section will be just this little 2-inch that is left, an elbow, like so, your 8-inch piece, and the end cap. And that is what the finished frame will look like. When gluing this together, you want to glue this bottom section to the 2 elbows, and you want to glue the elbows to the 2-inch to the T. This short piece that comes out the top of the pack, the elbow, and this top bar together. Do not glue the sides into the top and bottom elbows. You want to leave those unglued, because if you glue them in, it's going to be very difficult, if not impossible, to get it inside the track pack. I have not glued mine together yet, but once you have played with the fitment of this frame inside your pack and determined that this height is sufficient and the length of this bar is what you want in order to attach your camera and get a proper view, then you glue this up minus the side pieces. Once you have that finished, you can then disassemble the top section from the frame, then the bottom section, and on the back of this Stagr Track Pack we have a bladder pocket. It's a pocket designed to take a water bladder, a hydration pack. It's got a hole right in the top made for that tube to come out, and it's got this nice sleeve. Now you'll notice in the bottom, this pack has a couple of slots that come out, which is very handy for attaching this frame. In order to attach the frame, we're going to take this top piece that you have glued together, remember, and you're going to stick the top out that hole for the water bladder, rotate to whichever shoulder you want the camera to be over, you're going to get it up in there. There we got it. Okay. Now, the side pieces are simply placed in like so, lined up with the elbow. You're going to have to do a lot of this by feel. To get us started, you can put some weight on that from the top, push it down in. Now for the last section of assembly, remember you have glued this short piece into the elbows, so this is one solid piece now. You slide it in the back of the pack. I like to get it all the way in there first before I start to try to put the side supports into these elbows. Again, much of this is done by feel. It's a bit of a pain, but really once you do this, you likely won't be doing it too often. Right? So now the elbows are in the side supports, or rather the supports are in the elbows. And again, we're going to push it down here. Make sure everything's pretty flat. And that is your arm for attaching your GoPro or whatever action camera you may have with a handlebar mount. A bicycle handlebar mount will clamp over this perfectly. There's many different options on the market. GoPro makes their own version. There's many on Amazon. Look them up and you can clamp right over this and attach your GoPro. I hope this is a help to you. We've got my pack with the frame, filming frame for the over-the-shoulder view. Like I said, bicycle mount with the camera on top. You can reach over your shoulder, on, off. If you're a righty, you preferably want that over your left shoulder. If you're a lefty shooting with your left hand, you're probably going to want this spun around. So make sure when you glue it, or rather when you put it in the pack, this is spun to the opposite side. I will likely paint this brown, green, black, some color that blends into the woods better than white, and you've got yourself a solid frame for filming your own tracking adventures. Hiking, fishing, whatever you may want to film over the shoulder, this simple thing will help you do it. Hope you learned something. Thanks for viewing. If you like to follow along with some tracking content, subscribe to the channel, and I would appreciate it. Have a good day.